Hey everybody, I want to go through some tips and tricks to get the most out of your Lishi pick and walk through some best practices. So here we have the SC1, the KW1, and the M1, and the differences between these are the keyway profiles. So SC1 is a Schleg profile, a KW1 is a quick set profile, and M1 is a master lock profile. That's essentially what those mean. However, the one is important on all these because that's a very specific key. So this is a SC1 key blank. So if I were to hold up the SC1 Lishi pick along with the SC1 keyway profile, you would see those match very similar. So meaning if I were to put that blank into this lock here, this is an SC1 modular lock that we have and we sell, that would be the same as the SC1 Lishi. So meaning that would fit within that keyway profile. If I were to take the KW1 and try to insert that into the lock, it's not going to fit because it's the wrong keyway profile. So that's what I mean by matched to the keyway profile themselves. The other thing you'll see is the tension bar, and the tension is very important on this. They are a lot easier than a standard pick and tension wrench as you do in standard keyway picking. However, you can apply way too much tension to these too. So I'm going to get rid of those so I stop putting them in my hand. So if I were to insert this SC1 into the lock, the tension that I'm going to put onto that bar to turn it, and you have to make sure you're turning in the right direction, but the tension is only about this. So I'm only tensioning that about like this. So if I were to put too much tension on, it would look like this, and that's not what you want. You want just a slight amount of tension, enough to hold those pins. So I'll pick this real quick so you can kind of see what's going on here. These are 5 pins. This is an SC1, which is a 5-pin profile. So I'm just going to put that slight tension on. I'm going to start with the 1 pin, and I'm just going to keep working at that here, and you can see what's happening, hopefully, to each pin as I go through. And it's open. So as you are pushing on each pin stack, if the tension rod here moves too far away, so if it starts doing this and lifting up, you can kind of see that glare difference there. That's too much tension on this part. There is a tension here, and then there's a tension here, and you don't want to over torque each pin stack as you do that too, because these are precision tools and they will break. So there is a theoretical limit that you can push these to, and that's kind of the point of this video, is we want to help not, to take care of your tools and prevent that kind of thing from happening. So just to go through it again, it's locked back again. So I'm just going to push that down on the pin stack and it's going to lift up. And once I hear the click, I stop and I move to the next channel. So these are numbered 1 through 5 here. So now I'm going to move to 2. I'm going to hear a click, move to 3, hear a click, move to 4. That was pretty loose, so should be good to go. And 5, hear a click, and now it rotates. So that's kind of the premise behind picking. You don't want to over torque it here. And then the other thing too is that when you're coming back out of the lock, so once I insert this into the lock, you want this tension rod to be in the down position. You don't want it to be up like that because you won't be able to pull it out of the lock. So that's another area that's prone to breaking. Because of the manufacturing and the tolerance of these, this has to be very thin to get into that keyway. And if you're trying to, I'll show you real quick, put it back in there. If you're trying to pull this out of the lock while you have this up, it's not going to come out. It's going to lock itself. And if you try to pull that out, it's going to break that little tip on the lock, on the tension, and you don't want to do that. So you want to just push up on this to make sure that's all the way down and then lift it out of the lock. So those are some just general best practices to get the most out of your Lishi tool.